Scott Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So many ridiculous things going on. Jeez.
So much good news over there.
Yeah, great news. Right? Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
just phenomenal news.
Yeah, but we missed a big holiday yesterday.
We did.
A big celebration.
Really bummed about that.
There's just so much going on. It's hard to remember to celebrate everything.
Yesterday was International Pronouns Day.
Of course it was.
Oh, wow. So.
Privilege?
Yes. Go ahead.
Please do not use gendered language. To address everyone.
Okay, thank you. And so, no matter what your pronouns are, they were celebrated yesterday.
Good.
Yeah. Today, I'm declaring it International Conjunctions Day.
Okay, so yesterday was International Pronouns Day.
Yeah. Today's International Conjunctions Day.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Things like
prepared.
but, and, if.
But and if.
But and if. Those are my favorite conjunctions. Also, my pronouns today.
Oh, gosh.
I should have mentioned this yesterday, but yesterday they were different.
Okay.
Today they're us, we, and them. Us, we, and them. So if you would refer to me as us,
and if I'd
really appreciate that.
And if I screw this up, are you gonna be cool if you just roll with it, or?
Well, I'm gonna try, but no guarantees, because it does offend me when people don't use proper pronouns on me.
So us.
Especially when I've just told them. Yeah, I just told you. Us, we, them.
Yeah.
Those are my preferred pronouns.
So I have a question for us.
Yes.
Or we.
Yes.
Them. Since we didn't celebrate it yesterday, we should at least acknowledge the fact that our U.S. State Department did.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thankfully, they stood in the breach.
You believe the U.S. State Department has nothing better to do than to recognize International Pronouns Day?
Oh.
It's just so incredible.
Yeah.
They tweeted out at the State Department, today on International Pronouns Day, we share why many people list pronouns on their email and social media profile. Oh, okay. Well, that's important. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. And then
U.S. State Department.
Read more about it here. No, I'm not going to click on that. I'm not going to read your little... So somebody was paid with tax dollars to write an article about putting your pronouns in your email signature. Mm-hmm. That's stupid. Have you updated your email signature for today to say us, we, and them?
Yes. Of course, it was the first thing I did when I woke up this morning. So,
how do you decide from day to day which pronouns you're going to go by?
I don't decide. It just hits me.
My apologies.
It hits me. It's not a decision, Keith.
I see. So
totally natural.
Right. So I wake up and I think, what kind of music do I want to listen to while I show prep today? You think larger.
Yes.
You think pronouns.
Much larger. Right.
Good.
Speaking of which, Marina Medvin tweets out, anatomy of a what? This is great stuff.
Oh, my.
This was from
Teen
Vogue.
Oh.
This was from Teen Vogue. The anatomy of a non-prostate owner.
Stop it. That's not real.
So, the person formerly known as a woman. A non-prostate owner.
Okay, so...
How stupid. But you got the fallopian tube, large intestine, cervix, the rectum. Rectum.
Darn
near killed him.
Near killed him.
Anus. The vag. Vagina.
Okay. I was hoping...
Urethra.
I was hoping to Google this and find out this was Babylon Bee, but no.
No, it's not.
It's our reality.
Teen Vogue.
A non-prostate owner.
So would men be, I don't know, a non-uterus owner?
Sure.
Okay. Anatomy of a non-uterus owner. Huh.
That's our answer to everything now. A long exhale sigh.
Yep.
How have we... Okay, I know how we've gotten here. I just didn't expect it to be this rapid.
I know. I mean, this nation is being run now, really, by trans people. Whatever they dictate is what we're doing right now. I mean, you can't call a woman a woman? Stop it! Stop it. I don't understand. And how many people is it affecting? How many people are being offended? Even among trans people. Are you really offended? If people use the word woman, I'm sorry. If you are, then you're too sensitive to participate in society. And we should really find you, a safe, comfortable place far away from the rest of civilization.
Yeah, weren't we drummed into our head for decades, don't prejudge, don't judge people and all this stuff. If you don't know everything about a trans person before you approach them and have a conversation,
look out.
Oh my gosh. But I thought I was supposed to just go with the flow and not judge you and try to figure out who you are.
No, not so much.
You're an individual.
Not so much, I'm thinking
okay.
now. Okay. So, interesting crowd got together to, they were in support of Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. And then there was a group that was not so much in support of Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle, I haven't seen this comedy special he did, but the guy's just flat out funny. Mm-hmm. His last one that was so good, I did happen to see, and man, was it funny.
Yep.
And he just took on everybody and everything. And he just common sense observations in life. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't watch it. You don't have to be offended by it. You can ignore it completely if you want. And just the fact that it's on Netflix shouldn't hurt you in the least. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
It's a conscious act to turn on Netflix and press play, right?
Right.
Okay.
So don't. How about that? Don't. But that's not the way it is. No. That is just not the way it is. And so this is the one where they're supporting Dave Chappelle? Because I sent one today. Did we get that?
This is the one you sent.
This is the one I sent? Okay, they're not. There's one guy in support of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
One person. The rest are protesting
and I'm
that
sure
Dave Chappelle's comedy special is on Netflix.
Everybody probably treated this guy with respect and courtesy.
Oh, you're about to see.
Oh.
Yeah, the tolerance and love of the left. There they are, taking his sign from him and breaking it.
It just said, "We like Dave."
That's what it said. And he stomps on it, ruins it.
Aww.
And the idiots cheer. And now the pole without the sign is a weapon. So stupid. And they're blocking him, getting right up in his face.
Emily, there's my weapon. I'm not discussing anything.
Despicable.
Wow. There you go. Looks like she's coming on to him, actually, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, get out of his space.
The jokes are funny, people.
The jokes are funny.
Funny guy. I love Dave. I don't file the bar.
Wait, they're abusing a tambourine. Don't use it like that. Care for that. Gosh.
Pathetic. It's just really pathetic.
Okay.
So, who's the fascist here?
Right.
Certainly not him.
Yeah, we need a new term in the lexicon. It's called woke rage.
Yeah.
Because if you don't agree with every last thing that they say and they espouse,
they turn into animals.
Absolutely, they do.
Nazis. They throw around the fascist thing all the time. That is a clear example of fascism. You can't handle one guy with a different opinion. One guy. And he's being completely normal and relaxed, and he handled it really well.
Yeah.
Handled it a lot better than I would have. So that was good.
Do you want to walk us through how you would have handled that differently?
No.
No?
I don't.
Not without my attorney present.
Right.
No, but seriously, right. I mean, we are in the age of woke rage. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Like you said, we're allowing, or are we? Maybe not all of us are, allowing them to dictate society.
Yes, we
in
are.
The course that we're taking. At least our politicians sure are. That's for sure. It's
0.7% of the population, and you would think it's 70%. They control everything now. our language. We're changing our pronouns. We're changing the way we think about men and women. Everything must go. And it is. It's all going. It's going right down the drain.
And, I always say, it's we've waited too long to address this, address that. What could we have done differently on the gender front? I mean, every town had that guy in a dress hanging out at the local store, right? And he lived his life and you lived yours. What were we supposed to do differently to stem this tide to where they're now in our schools questioning our kids all the time? Remember Megyn Kelly talking about how every week they ask her son, "Are you sure you're still attracted to girls? You sure?"
Yeah.
And she had to get her kids out of the New York City schools. I mean, what should we have done differently on that front? Other than, I thought we were supposed to mind our own business. Isn't that the libertarian way? I don't know how you would have stopped this. This is just madness, and it was obviously pre-planned. So here we are. Yay.
Now Netflix trans employees and their allies have released a list of demands ahead of the big Netflix walkout. You know what they should do at Netflix? Let them all go. See ya. And just have, however many people have walked out, you just have that many replacements. Okay, bye-bye. See ya. So, content investment. Create a new fund to specifically develop trans and non-binary talent. That's what they want Netflix to do.
Wait. What did you say the percentage of American citizens?
0.7.
Okay,
0.7%.
We'll put 0.7% of our profit into these ventures for you. You happy? It's fair, right? It's equitable?
This fund should exist in addition to the existing Creative Equity Fund. Okay? Increase investment in trans and non-binary content on Netflix comparable to our total investment in transphobic content.
What?
Including marketing and promotion. Okay. Invest in multiple trans creators to make both scripted and unscripted programs across genres. Revise internal processes on commissioning and releasing potential harmful content, including but not limited to involving parties who are part of the subject community and can speak to potential harm, or consulting with third-party experts and vendors.
Blah, blah, blah.
Increase the ERG role in conversations around potentially harmful content. Ensure we have the best class regional support on complicated intersectional diversity issues. Hire trans and non-binary content executives, especially BIPOC. Yeah.
The BIPOCs
in leading positions. Yes. So black, indigenous people of color, and trans people. Jeez. In other words, we don't want to hire any more white people. Can't work here anymore. It's got to be BIPOCs and trans people. White trans people can work here, but that's it. Allow employees to remove themselves from previous company promotional content. Recruit trans people. Eliminate references, imagery of transphobic titles or talent inside of the workplace, including but not limited to murals, posters, room names, and swag. Really, do they have a lot of transphobic titles or imagery? No way does Netflix have transphobic anything. Get out of here.
Really? Seriously? And by the way, it's only 0.4%.
Oh, it's 0.4?
Yeah.
So I gave him too much credit.
You sure did. Yeah.
0.4.
And I got that number from a reliable source that supports transgender stuff. So there you go.
Really?
Isn't that something?
Yeah. As far as harm reduction, acknowledge the harm and Netflix's responsibility for this harm from transphobic content. Add a disclaimer before transphobic titles that specifically flag transphobic language, misogyny, homophobia, hate speech, etc. Boost promotion for disclosure and other trans-affirming titles. I mean, really? Suggest trans-affirming content alongside and after content flagged as anti-trans. And the thing is, they think everything is anti-trans.
Exactly.
Everything. Everything. There is no pleasing the trans community as far as I can see.
And I think we've answered the question, why are they in the schools? Why are they going to your kids? Because there's so few of them, they have to cultivate new people into their army.
Yeah.
It's exactly what's going on.
Jeez.
Good times.
Good times. You talk about minority rule. We are absolutely there. This is so far from a democracy. It's not even a republic anymore. It's minority rule now.
Yeah. 1.4 million trans. And how many of those are even wanting to change the culture? Most of those probably want to be just left alone.
Probably.
I mean, it's less than the 1.4 million.
For sure.
That are trying to steer us in a completely different direction. It's madness, man.
Yeah, and it's the same in the militant community with the homosexual community. Any LGBTQIA2+ community. They just mostly want to live their lives, I think, and not be discriminated against. And that's great. That's what we all want for them.
Just like the rest of us.
Yeah, just don't tell the whole of society what to do every minute of the day. No. I'm not going to change my language to say that there are not women, okay? Because there are women.
You mean non-prostate owners?
No, I mean women. Yeah, women.
What a cumbersome way.
I know.
If you're going to change the term, at least make it a little bit, let it roll off the tongue a little bit easier than that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But they don't. They don't. So it's going to be interesting to see if Dave Chappelle is able to ride this out because they're pretty inflamed right now over that special. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I don't have Netflix, and I desperately want to see it. But you know what saves him? People watching it.
Yeah.
Clicks.
Yeah.
Eyeballs watching that and making that as popular as it appears to be.
It's what the CEO said.
Everywhere, huh?
It's what the CEO of Netflix said. That's why it's still there. It's too popular to take down.
At least he's honest.
Then he apologized for it because the trans people were all pissed off about it.
Stop it. I'm so sick and tired of the radical left for half a century saying, look, you don't mess with art. Right? It's just there. Uh-huh. I'm sorry if it offends you, but you can't be stifling people's creativity. But oh my gosh, if it offends them, now we got to protest and break people's signs and stifle their free speech. Screw you.
Yep. And we're not even doing things offensive like, Jesus in urine like they did to Christians. I mean, I don't know of anything equally offensive that's been done to the trans community.
My goodness. If Christians rallied and protested the way the far left does every time something was done to shove in their face.
All day, every day.
Literally, you would never be asleep.
Yep. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Not long ago, companies existed to make money. Provide products and services, and then they'd get some money in return for that. Well, almost overnight, everything changed, and lots of corporations now are just vessels for anti-American, anti-family propaganda. Few companies have had the courage to stand up for America, but one of the companies that has is Patriot Mobile. We've been talking about Patriot Mobile for years. If you haven't switched, why? What are you waiting for? Verizon and AT&T are not going to change. They're going to continue to support Planned Parenthood and other organizations that you completely disagree with and are radically opposed to. Patriot Mobile has the broadest nationwide coverage. They use the same towers as all the major carriers. So you get the same great service, and they have plans to fit any budget. You're going to get it cheaper than you get it with the major guys. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team has the highest rating among wireless carriers, too. And more importantly, they share your values. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. You'll get free activation with the offer code PAT. They also have special discounts for veterans and first responders, too. So support a company that loves America and shares your values. It's Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. PatriotMobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I mean, here's another example of it. The nation's leading parks nonprofit on Tuesday released a lengthy guide on how to speak in woke terms.
No.
Including tips like avoiding using the term Americans.
Really?
And making sure the term white is lowercase while black is capitalized.
No.
Mm-hmm.
This is my pet peeve. I refuse. I've started.
Which do you do?
I capitalize
them
white.
both?
Yes.
I do too.
You want black capitalized, you get white capitalized. It's a two-way street. Come on
Yes.
now.
I believe Hispanics also capitalized. Right?
Cool.
The National Rec and Park Association's NRPA exhaustive 17-page equity language guide for parks and recreation professionals includes meticulous instructions on what words are acceptable or unacceptable in speaking about race, age, gender, sexual orientation, and ability. One member of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board in Edmond, Oklahoma, told the Daily Wire that he was apparently automatically signed up for NRPA email, so he received the guide in his inbox. He said he plans to complain about the manual. Just days after Biden took office, the NRPA touted that it had spoken with the Biden administration about reversing Trump administration decisions. Use caution with this word, the guide says, about calling people Americans. When we talk about parks and recreation serving communities, we're usually talking about how they serve all people. You know, whether or not they're a U.S. citizen. So avoid using the term Americans generically for a group and use residents or members of a community as a more inclusive approach. I can't take it.
No.
The guide also says the term white should be lowercase, but black may be capitalized, and it's a recognition of how language evolves over time.
Is it?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The term reflects a shared identity and culture rather than just a descriptor of skin color.
Wait a minute. If we're sharing it, then whites get to be capitalized too, right?
No, because the term alien is offensive when used to refer to people. It should be used in reference to plants. The guide advised. What?
To plants?
Like an alien plant?
But not to aliens?
No.
Definitely. Don't even start on
Well, we
alien
found out
immigrants.
from What's-Her-Face last week
Oh, yeah.
that aliens was offensive to aliens. Who was it? She just doing a...
It was... yeah.
Yeah, Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Wow, she has gone off the deep end, hasn't she?
I'm going to tweet out the word right now. White with a capital W.
Oh, wow, you
And
bastard.
let's just see how many people get triggered today. This is going to be fun. At Keith Malinak. This is going to be good.
People are going to go ape on you.
Oh, I know.
On religion, the guide says it could be an important factor to someone's identity and culture and encourages parks professionals to recognize religious and cultural traditions rather than those that typically dominate the U.S. Media landscape, usually Christian holidays.
Oh, here we go.
So please pay attention to the non-Christian holidays, is the inference here. The glossary also expounds on other terms, including ally, environmental justice, anti-racism, equity, structural racism, dominant culture, cultural humility.
Oh, wait.
Cultural humility,
Oh, I
not
thought we
humidity.
found common ground.
No.
Nobody likes humidity.
And white supremacy, of course. That's got to be in there as well. Because it's the biggest problem we face today. I don't know if you're aware of that.
White supremacy?
Yeah. Biggest problem we face.
You know, I tell you, every now and then I will reach out to my more middle-of-the-road political friends and just to get a temperature of the room. You know, I typically do this leading into national elections, but I just recently did this, and I don't respond. I don't get into a debate, right? I want to hear what they have to say, and my middle-of-the-road friend who says, you know, he's liberal on some issues and conservative on others. He literally said, this is just yesterday. He said that if I was a dictator for a day, I'd piss off both parties. Anyway, but he says that white nationalism is a real problem.
Oh, my.
While also finding myself getting increasingly tired of woke and cancel culture. And I'm like, don't respond. You said you would not reply. You said you would not reply. This is an intelligent guy. He voted for McCain and I know, right? Save your jokes. But he voted for McCain and he voted for Hillary. Okay. So he's definitely, he can go either way on election day. But it's like this narrative about white nationalism being a problem is apparently taking root in intelligent, educated people. It's madness, dude.
Well, it's because while most people associate white supremacy with extremist groups like the Ku Klux Klan, should have just said KKK. And the neo-Nazis. White supremacy is ever present in our institutional and cultural assumptions that assign value, morality, goodness, and humanity to the white group while casting people in communities of color as worthless, immoral, bad, inhuman, and undeserving, the guide says.
Aha. It says. It's a good guide.
I don't know how much longer we can... how can you survive this?
You can't.
This is just national suicide.
Let's be honest.
It's absolutely national suicide. Somehow we have to stand up and say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm not playing your game. I'm not listening to your nonsense. I'm not going to change the way I talk about women and men, okay? Because there really are women and men. And I'm not going to call them people who don't have prostate glands. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing your mask, and I'm not taking your shot.
Right.
So why don't you just back off? You're right. We don't survive this. Let's be honest.
Well, we don't if we allow it to continue. I mean, it's incredible. Did you see this woke BBC reporter, 37 years old?
No.
They did some, I don't know, they did some special, I guess she's a big deal in the BBC and everybody knows her. And she's, very left. And so they did some kind of special where they were looking into people's pasts.
Okay. Oh, no, don't do that.
Now, she's black, or at least half black.
Okay.
And she was a little bit horrified. She was a lot horrified to find out her 4-time great-grandfather, great-great-great-great-grandfather,
okay,
Robert Francis Coombs, was a slave owner with over 24 people captive at his huge property in Jamaica. So he was black and owned slaves. Now, apparently, the lighter-skinned blacks were sometimes given slaves and allowed to be free, and this is what just happened in some of the British colonies. And so she was obviously stunned, couldn't believe what she was seeing, and she asked, in my family line, this doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth, but Robert Francis Coombs owned people? Yeah, Putin. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and do you see why the reparations debate is so asinine?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Blacks owning blacks, which is something you never hear about, and she actually mentions that. Because it wasn't even unusual for free black people to own slaves at the time. As we know, if you've really studied this stuff, and you know that happened in Africa all the time. And it happened in Jamaica as well. Fighting tears, Alex said, in terms of explaining my emotion behind it, I suppose that goes against everything I stand for, who I am. She said, I was very aware we may be delving into the topic of slavery, but I really did believe I'd be learning about my family as slaves, not the other side, not as the slave owners. Right? Surprise! So, yeah, she was stunned, actually, that blacks owned blacks in Jamaica. And it's just fascinating to find out from these people, okay, now what? If you are a person who believes, as Keith brought up, in reparations, now what do? Do you get reparations or do you pay reparations?
Yeah, and wasn't the first slave owner in America black, Anthony Johnson, right? I mean, so
yeah, so it happened in America too.
Yeah,
yes.
So if you want to go back and say, are you gonna dictate this reparations bullcrap argument on skin color or actual connection to slavery and slave owning in your family? It's stupid, and all it is meant is to separate us even more. I mean, how many ways? I mean, you could spend all day and we wouldn't come up with all the ways that they seek to divide us in this nation.
Yeah. And what's interesting is this happened on a show called Football Focus. Okay. Huh. That's weird. What are you doing talking about this?
Because
on
it's
Football Focus.
Everywhere.
And the football they mean, though, is soccer, which is wrong to begin with.
Oh.
So, I mean, maybe you start there with British society. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the problem.
Welcome. Got some tweets here. Rowdy Introvert tweets, I can't believe I missed International Pronouns Day as well. why just last week I updated the pronouns in my Twitter bio. My preferred pronouns are currently patheads.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
I like
good
that.
pronouns. Thank you. Newton's flaw. Point of personal privilege. Please stop using gendered language to address mandates. It literally has the word man and date in it.
I like it. That's good stuff.
Pants full of chaos tweets. Let me be very clear. I don't trust anybody that owns a tambourine.
Wait, anybody?
Anybody.
Oh.
What do those cost? What do you pay for a tambourine?
I don't know. I bought that in college.
Really?
Yeah, so if I could afford it in college, it wasn't much.
Do we know why you bought that in
20
college?
bucks or so. Oh, because I always like to jam. You know this about me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right.
So as soon as you leave this the studio after the show, just crank up the music and just start jamming with my tambourine over here.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just something to do. It's the only instrument I can play. That and egg shaker. That's it. I mean, I can't do anything else. I can try, but it ain't pretty.
Carl Smith tweets, so are we expected to give the State Department a break on Afghanistan since now we know they were preparing for International Pronoun Day?
Oh, cut them some slack.
Right. I mean, yeah, you really do have to cut them some slack.
You can't
right? They
be
only
expected to do...
What, 6 or 8 weeks
right.
to prepare ahead of time. And so, yeah, no wonder they
a holiday as big as International Pronouns Day. You can't concentrate on evacuating.
You really can't.
Okay.
You really can. From Joe Vader, wait, did I just see a group of white people attack a man who supports a black comedian? Yeah, the Dave Chappelle thing? Yeah.
Yep.
How about that? 888-900-3393. People are showing up in big numbers in some parts of the world right now to protest mandates and government overreach and the vaccine passports and all of that. In Italy, there was a huge protest. Check this out.
You see what he's doing? He's showing you, this is how propaganda works. It's a government website that shows that there's nobody in the square there, the town square. Oh, but wait.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So,
wow.
there you go.
Look at that crowd.
But
so the website had nobody in the square?
Yeah, so click here to check out our webcam.
That's amazing.
The town square, nobody's here.
Nobody's got a problem with these mandates. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Get the vaccine.
Shut
up.
Do not believe them.
They're nowhere.
Yes.
Oh, man. Also, Charles Barkley. I can't figure Charles Barkley out.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this clip at all.
It's really weird. Sometimes he is so right. And then other times, really, really wrong. He thinks Kyrie Irving should get the vaccine, and he believes that, all those guys who were talking about, look, it's not my job to force other players into getting the vaccine. I'm not going to do that. That's not my place. They decide what to do with their body. He thought that was wrong as well. But here he is talking about Kyrie Irving.
Your buddy over here is grimacing. Chuck?
First of all, you don't get the vaccine for yourself. You get it for other people.
No, I'm not saying.
Hold on. You said your piece.
No, I didn't say you do.
I got vaccinated. I can't wait to get the booster. You don't get vaccinated just for yourself.
Okay.
Like Adam said, you get vaccinated for your family first. You get vaccinated for your teammates second, things like that. That's what bothers me about this whole thing. I think everybody should get vaccinated. And let me tell you something. I really am proud of the Nets for putting their foot down.
You can stick that opinion.
That's what I'm saying. No, we're not going to deal with this half on, half off. The only thing that bugged me, he's still going to make $17 million sitting at home. I wish they could find a way. If he wants to go on this thing, people say he's like Ali. First of all, don't ever compare anybody to Ali. Ali went 3 years without boxing. He was the highest paid athlete in the world. This guy going to make $17 million for sitting at home. But to every person out there, you don't get vaccinated just for yourself. Let's get that out the way.
Get that out the way. You don't get vaccinated for you. I'm not putting some chemical I don't know anything about into my body for somebody else. Sorry. No.
Right? I mean, what?
No.
For who am I doing that for? And don't say my family and my teammates.
Look,
Stop.
you put it in your body, and that's supposed to protect you from me.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah, you get the vaccine for yourself. You don't get it for humanity because I'm sorry, if people don't want to inject themselves with something they don't trust, I'm not doing that for you or me.
Yeah. And did you see the crowd out in front of Netflix?
Unreal.
Attacking the guy who was defending the black comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would I do anything for those people?
Yeah, no kidding.
Those people want me dead. Honestly, and by the way,
and they cheer every time somebody does die.
Absolutely.
Who has said anything against the vaccines or getting vaccinated or mandates? They cheer when those people die,
or just
they love it.
Just be guilty of being a conservative.
Right.
Rush Limbaugh dies, and oh my gosh, it's like a time for a leftist
Despicable.
parade.
Just really despicable.
But I looked this up. Charles Barkley his net worth is $50 million. So you didn't earn that money for yourself. I mean, the rest of us could use it. I don't know about you, but it costs a lot of money for me to fill up my tank of gas every morning. How about a little help here? You know?
He played in basketball arenas that were in part built by other people's money.
You didn't build that, Chuck.
You drove on roads that were paid for by our taxes.
Uh-huh.
How about sharing some of that $50 million with us?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Charles Barkley, still not a role model.
Crazy. Jeez. But, I mean, that's just the DNA of this particular problem. They've done such a good job at convincing people that if you don't want the vaccine, you're evil and you're trying to kill others. That they've even duped some people who are usually, they're fairly common sense oriented. It's frustrating.
It's good,
so
right?
frustrating, isn't it?
It's a good time.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's message to the unvaccinated. This has got to be special.
Announcement. It's a mandate now for all city agencies, all city workers. It's time for everyone to get vaccinated. Our public employees are going to lead us out of the COVID era. Look, what we did with our schools worked. Our schools are incredibly safe, and families needed to know their kids would be safe. Well, we all need to know we're going to be safe going forward. We got to end the COVID era. We did the vaccinate or test option, but it hasn't gotten us where we need to go. So we say vaccinate. If you choose not to, you have the right to go on unpaid leave. We're going to work with your union to figure out what happens next. But the bottom line is we're not going to pay people unless they're vaccinated. They don't lose their jobs. They can correct and come back. I think that's compassion. I think that's right.
Correct.
But the bottom line is 96% of our education employees did it. 96% of our healthcare workers did it. It's time for everyone else.
Dictator says what? And you notice they're so careful to not say you're going to lose your job. It's unpaid leave. Because they don't want to be dragged into court when all this stuff blows over. And later on, they're in there for wrongful termination.
Yeah. Did you see that Nick Rolovich, who was the head coach at Washington State?
Yeah.
And they gave him until this past Monday to get vaccinated, and he didn't. He doesn't want the vaccine. So he refused, and they fired him on Monday. And so he's suing them.
Good.
And he should.
Good.
Do you know he's got a contract that runs through 2025. They fired him, they said, with cause. Wait, what?
Oh.
Was that a condition of his job in the first place? To get vaccinated? I'm pretty sure that's not in the contract. I don't know how they'll ever prove that in a court of law. So he's suing him. I hope he gets every penny.
I bet attorneys
of the next 4 years of his contract.
Tripping over themselves to get to this case. And
I bet they are. I'll bet they are, because that's ridiculous. You fired him for cause? Really? Show me in the contract where it says I must be vaccinated or I'm in violation of this contract.
Wow. And show me precedent where someone's been fired because they refused to get any kind of shot injected into them.
No way. No way.
By the way, the more pressing matter, short term, of course, is BYU football for you. It seems like whenever a coach loses his job, the team that either comes out the next week and wins 50-0 or loses 50-0. So good luck to your Cougars this week.
Yeah.
His players are either going to be motivated for him or down and out, you know?
Right. I hope it's the latter.
But seriously, this is madness.
Yeah.
And I hope that these cases start rolling in as victories that can, if nothing else, can just stop this madness train through the judicial branch. But, you know, I'm not going to hold out hope for that.
Just incredible. To think that retroactively now, that's part of my contract. Shut up. Get out of here.
Man, and there's
no way.
So many people listening to this show that have taken a stand or lost their job or had to get the vaccine in order to keep putting the food on the table and a roof over their head. God bless you. I don't know what this society looks like a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, but I know it's not going to be looking any better than it does today. And we are so blessed to work in a company and for a boss and a CEO that aren't pushing this. Because a lot of people are dealing with this, and it is not right.
Been incredible here. They've been incredible. And if they weren't, I'm not sure what I would do. If they were like, okay, you've got to get vaccinated or you can't come in anymore. I don't know what I'd do. Quite honestly. Would you quit? Would you be done?
I would be on the news. You'd see me on the news. I'll say that.
What, really?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be on the news.
Oh, yeah.
In what capacity? Like as a news story?
I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm not here to talk about hypotheticals, Pat. I don't have to worry about that. Thank God.
Yeah.
But if I did, you can rest assured I would not be the quiet type.
Yeah.
To go off into the night.
Yeah. The U.S. has unveiled COVID-19 vaccine rollouts now for children, which is great. Millions of American children aged 5 to 11 will likely become part of this urgent vaccination program, the likes of which hasn't been seen since the days of the polio inoculations. Officials have outlined a plan to roll out 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine formulated for children in the coming weeks, provided that the FDA approves Pfizer's safety and efficacy data. Well, their initial efficacy data seems to have gone right out the window. They were claiming 95%. And they're at what? 67 is the highest percentage I've seen lately.
Like what?
Maybe 67%.
What about drug companies? Are people all of a sudden trusting?
I don't know.
I
honestly don't know.
It was the boogeyman of the left, and in some cases.
And now now they worship Pfizer and Moderna.
I was reading something where the MMR thing, the more recent version of that, that Merck lied about the efficacy of that, and it went to court, and it may still be in court. But basically, people that were getting the MMR vaccine were coming down with mumps. And they're like, whoa, what's going on here?
What?
I thought we were supposed to...
Really?
Mumps, measles, and rubella, right? So what's going on here? Well, that's what was going on. Because they had the latest version of this vaccine wasn't stopping mumps. And that's why there was this big mumps outbreak. So my point is, there's a lot of time and there's been a lot of evidence to show why would you trust these drug companies? And now, all of a sudden, there's a new drug that's been out there for 9-10 months, and we're like, oh my gosh, now we're gonna change our society for the drug makers and pad their wallets. I mean, this is a nightmare. I should go back to bed. I didn't get enough sleep last night, staying up late watching baseball. Now I'm ornery.
At least they won, though.
They won.
Children will receive 2 injections 3 weeks apart using smaller syringes and a lower dosage. About a third of what was used to immunize those 16 to 25. And I'm sure we're just positive that this is going to have no adverse effects on the kids, right?
Well, we got 9 months of data, man.
Yeah.
Sure. And
a full 9 months? Do we actually have a full 9 months of data? I hope so. I hope we have at least 9 months.
You'll recall there was the Senate hearings where people came in that were injured from vaccines, and there was a test subject, if you will, a teenage girl who's now in a wheelchair and can barely move. Remember that? We had the video, the crying mom, and she was one of the ones that said, yep, experiment on me. Just leave the kids alone, could you? Let the adults make these decisions on their own. Do you want the vax? Do you not want the vax? Do you want to keep your job? Do you want to not want to keep your job? Whatever. But leave the kids alone, man. Stop it, especially when we know that this affects them. So how many millions of people are in this country, and how many have died from COVID-19 that are youths? Less than 500? I can't. Stop it. And now it's a requirement, like in L.A., starting in January. If you want to go to a school in L.A.,
it's amazing the number of things that we don't consider dangerous at all, like bathtub deaths, that they're higher than the deaths surrounding COVID-19 for children. You know, more kids slip and fall and die in the bathtub than have died from COVID-19. And yet, we're not banning bathtubs. We're not taking them out of homes.
Can you believe that we are allowing pools still to be installed?
How many kids have drowned in swimming pools? If it's more than one.
Yeah, good point.
If it's only one, then that's too many. And it is. But it happens, and we don't shut down society because of it. Why are we doing that with this? It's just so bizarre. Seriously, this virus has been treated like it's Ebola or smallpox or, you know, the Black Plague or something. And it's just not. I mean, yes, it's been deadly to mostly 80-year-olds. But it's for the vast majority of society, for 99% of us, it's not deadly.
It almost
talk till
feels
we're
like
blue in the face.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
It almost feels like there's something bigger at play here, Pat.
Almost does, doesn't it? What could be at play, though?
I don't know.
Certainly, the government's not trying to control us.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube, what are we allowed to say here? What can we say about this that's cool? You good with it?
There's nothing at play. That's what we could say.
Yeah.
There's just nothing at play here. It's just they're straight up worried about it, and good for them. They should be.
They don't want you healthy, independent, and free. They want you submissive. They want you needy. They want you obedient.
No, that's for sure.
I will not comply.
That's for sure. 888-900-3393. More coming up. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Decaffeinated texts and tweets. Starving people in the third world don't have time to focus on woke language changes. Keep tearing down America, folks. You too will be too hungry to care. Yeah. Ryan Patrick. So Pat plays the guitar. Keith plays the tambourine.
Yeah.
Now I understand why there's no road in between their houses.
What's he saying there? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Kara 3022, we're ordered to get the shot, then a booster, then we'll need another booster because of this new variant that's been found. The holes in our arms are going to make us all look like junkies. Yeah, I don't think the booster thing is going to stop. I think that keeps going indefinitely to where it's probably a yearly thing, like the flu shot. And they're starting to package them both together. I just heard an ad on one of the local Dallas stations as I was driving in that you can come, I forget where, grocery store, someplace, 7-Eleven, wherever you get your medical care now.
Exactly, wherever the hell.
No.
Notice that
Sam's Club, that's where my wife got hers.
This was not a thing until this.
But they're packaging them together. Come get the COVID and the flu shot together. No. We'll give them both to you. No.
Okay, you know what? You know when it stops? You know when the boosters stop? It's when people refuse to get them.
Yeah.
Because you're already seeing pushback to the point where policies are changing in companies like Southwest, right? You know, like, okay, our bad, ha ha ha. I mean, you can change this if you want to.
Well, and look, they did. They refused. They walked out. And then we were told, no, they didn't walk out. That wasn't what that was.
Oh, really?
You really? Huh. And now you've all of a sudden changed your policy?
It was the weather. It was the blue skies from coast to coast that day.
Okay. Boy. Strange then how you almost lost 40% of your employees and that kind of turned things around corporate policy-wise.
It's amazing what upper-level winds will do to a company policy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
there's been some serious wind shear that day.
But notice, what happened? Money. Bottom line, money. Right. They affected their wallets. They affected their stock price. And boom! Oh, I'm sorry. We're changing our tune. You're right.
Right. Now let's work with you then. If you don't want to get it, okay, we'll figure it out. Come on back.
That's how you do it.
Cardi T tweets, so de Blasio says 96% of city employees got the vaccine, and he wants to force it on the 4% because things still aren't safe. That says more about the vaccine than it does the workers. And that is for sure. What a great point that is.
Yep.
Really? If 96% isn't good enough, isn't safe enough, isn't finally immune enough, then you might as well forget it because we're not going to get better than that.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know that this is organized or how much this has been thrown together yet, but people are starting to discuss Monday, November 1st, the day after Halloween, as maybe National Walkout Day, if your company is forcing this mandate on you. So we'll see if that takes, we got a couple weeks, but that's just been the rumor right now.
The darkest side, I'm old enough to remember when the Occupy Wall Street folks hated the 1%. Now they're the big pharma Nazis. Yeah, it's true. Jeffy's Rona shreddings, career opportunities in pediatric cardiology are going to grow faster than Bitcoin. Yeah, I hope not, but it's possible. As soon as they start forcing this on 5 to 11-year-olds, I'm afraid they're gonna wish they hadn't. I'm a lickin' butter. Tweets, did the jab turn Charles Barkley into a knucklehead? Knucklehead? Or was he always like that? And from Swankthink, every day I'm reminded the slippery slope is in fact the slippery vertical decline. I'm not sure I read that properly, did I?
Yeah, I don't have it in front
Every
of me.
day I'm reminded the slippery slope is in fact the slippery vertical decline.
Yeah, there you go. You nailed it that time. Look at that.
Wasn't really that hard.
Yeah, no.
Frankly, but...
it sure is, though, man. It is it's like you're staring straight up every day.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And we're staring straight up into the eyes of this brain-dead president who's still trying to force us to accept the infrastructure plan.
Nobody likes you, man. Stop.
The infrastructure thing is, what is that, $2 trillion? And then the budget deal is $3.5 trillion?
It's easy to forget. I think, hell, before I speak, I think, sure. Yep, that's what it is. I can't think of what the latest is here.
But here's Biden talking about it.
Oh, good.
Jobs.
Making sure there's a high-speed internet. Affordable and available everywhere in America, including for nearly 1 in 6 families who go without internet. You saw what's happened when we've had this COVID.
What?
Try teaching from home. How many people do you see out in McDonald's parking lots with their kids in their cars because they get access to the internet?
What?
To be able to help the kid in school.
I didn't see any.
What are we doing?
What are you
This is the
talking about?
United States of America, damn it. What are we doing?
He's been so weirdly pissed lately, hasn't
Both
he?
these bills are going to help us meet the moment on the climate crisis in a way that creates good jobs, makes us more economically competitive.
More economically competitive. How many times did you see a mother and her children in a McDonald's parking lot because they're trying to get internet? 0? No, let me think. Carry the one. 0? None. I saw it 0 times. 0 times did I see that happen. Is that a thing?
I've not heard it.
Do we have research on women and their children getting the internet from McDonald's and they're just sitting in the parking lot there?
First of all, this infrastructure bill is $3.5 trillion on its own. Okay. That's the one Manchin and Sinema are trying to say.
So that's the infrastructure? I thought the reconciliation
that's
bill.
the reconciliation. Screw it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just do this for a living. I have no idea. No, but I guarantee you somebody got in his ear or somebody on his staff saw on a message board a mom said, I have to go to a McDonald's parking lot to get internet. One person probably said this.
Might have said it to him.
Yeah.
Or he heard about it somewhere.
Like, man, that must be a big thing.
How many times did you see that happening?
I don't know about you, but like we pass several McDonald's between here and home. And like it's just like the traffic is streamed around the block, and you know they ain't there for the food.
No, they're there for the parking lot.
For the internet,
so
right?
they can like vampire off of the McDonald's internet.
The sad part is
connection.
A lot of the people can't get into the parking lot, and so they pull up on the curb and they get their laptops and they sit up on top of the roof of their car to try to get that signal.
Yeah.
It's sad to see. It is sad to see, but here we are in America, damn it.
And sometimes what they'll do is, because their car is parked too far from the actual building, so they'll get out of the car and walk closer to the building and then sit on the sidewalk by the front door of the McDonald's and just siphon it right there. And people have to step over them on the way out. It's really sad. It's really sad.
You know why I'm having such a difficult time with these numbers, Pat, is because the Democrats told us it was going to cost zero. So, like, it's not even going to be the trillion, 3 point anything.
Well, yeah,
the reconciliation package would cost $0.
$0.
Best of all, the cost of these bills in terms of adding to the deficit is zero.
Whoa.
Zero.
White supremacy.
As I said to the president, and I heard him say, this is a $0 bill because it's all going to be paid for with taxes on the wealthiest corporations and the wealthiest individuals.
But at the end of the day, Chris, I think what's important for people to understand is that this piece of legislation costs zero. We're going to pay for it all.
It's not about a dollar amount. The dollar amount, as the president said, is zero.
There's that
This
white
bill will be
supremacy
paid
again.
for.
This is a tax cut.
Some have expressed publicly that they're not comfortable with 3.5, even though zero costs $0.
But in fact, the bill itself will not cost $3.5 trillion in the sense that it will be entirely or at least partly paid for. So the actual cost in terms of deficits will be smaller than that, perhaps even zero, although I think that's unlikely.
Dumb do you think we are?
Do you
Seriously,
believe
come
that
on.
President
Really?
Biden's reconciliation package proposal, the one with the $3.5 trillion in total spending, will cost zero and be fully paid for?
No.
Yes, I do.
We talk about price tags. It is zero price tag on that.
Again, with the white supremacy symbol.
We're going to pay for everything we spend. So it's not, people, understandably, well, it started off at $6 trillion, now it's $3.5 trillion, now is it going to be 2.9?
What?
It's going to be zero.
So are you now admitting that the plan does not cost zero, or is it less than zero?
Well, let's not dumb this down for the American public here. What we're talking about is how much the top line investments are, which are all paid for.
Yeah.
So therefore,
it
costs zero. No matter what the cost or size of the top line investments are, we have ways to pay for it.
If it's a $2 trillion spending plan, net, it costs $2 trillion.
No.
Come
well,
on.
I'm not necessarily sure
Chris.
about that.
Zero.
I'm not sure about that.
$0 bill.
All right.
Zero costs $0.
It's going to be zero.
So therefore, it costs zero.
Zero.
Whoa.
Zero.
Again.
Zero. What am I doing here?
I wish I knew.
I keep forgetting I'm president.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I mean, that was their plan D.
Yeah. But is there a single American citizen above the age of 4 that believes it's going to cost us $0?
Oh, I'm kicking my 4-year-old out of the house if they think this all costs zero.
Yeah, you can't live here anymore.
Yeah.
No. Any 4-year-old who buys this, you're right. Even a 4-year-old should get this.
What if a 3-year-old? That's kind of case by case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But seriously, that's a good deal, right? No more McDonald's parking lots. You get free internet now.
Free internet
at home.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
It's good.
And then we won't have to. We won't have situations like the Lumbee tribe. Right.
I'm from Pembroke, and I'm a member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. I have 2 children. And like any mother, I want the best for my boys.
No more McDonald's parking lots.
Jacob, my oldest, is a transferring student to UNC Pembroke. And Isaac is in the 8th grade at Pembroke Middle School.
Oldest.
Like most families,
we go to McDonald's
across the state who either don't have access to high-speed internet or who can't afford
it.
We were stuck with dial-up service in our home until 2 months ago.
Until 2 months ago. Yeah, now we have it.
I feel that this has put my family, my sons in particular,
huge disadvantage.
at a severe disadvantage.
Severe disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Isaac depends on the internet.
Sure he does.
To complete his assignments for school.
Surf for porn, etc.
Those aren't
assignments. He often uses the internet to work on reports, projects, or often at times to just do research.
On
I watch him struggle with the dial-up service and observed him get frustrated.
Frustrated.
Because he could not move around on the web like he likes and needed to do.
Yeah.
Seemingly easy assignments took him hours to complete.
Hours to complete.
It's very disheartening to watch.
Because he's
Isaac got very upset.
He did.
Discouraged. And frustrated. Because he could not do what he needed to do.
What he likes to do.
As a mother, it breaks my heart.
Of course it does.
And causes me to feel that I have failed him in some way.
Frankly, you just have, Linda.
Rhonda.
Rhonda, I mean. Yeah, the Rhonda. That's right. Thank you.
How dare you.
I mean, it's been a whole minute since I heard her name.
Right,
you don't expect me to remember it, do you? Rhonda.
Did you think that maybe Jacob might just have like
her oldest?
Yeah, he might just have a learning disability. Maybe that's why it takes him a long time.
Right, maybe.
To do his seemingly easy assignments. I mean, who's judging here, Rhonda? I mean, be cool.
Jacob, her oldest, had that problem, but she didn't talk about the other ones.
Yeah.
So apparently they didn't have the same problem as Jacob.
See? Same internet connection, different amount of time spent finishing seemingly easy assignments.
By the way, is Jacob spelled Jakop? Is it Jacob?
Don't be ridiculous.
Is that how you spell
it's
it?
Jacop.
Jacop.
Don't complicate it.
Jacob, my oldest, spelled Odest.
There's a mom that spent a lot of time in McDonald's parking lots, but now she doesn't have to worry about that.
She doesn't have to
anymore.
now. Not now, because we're going to fix all that. We're going to fix it all. And at $0.
Yeah, I want
zero.
I don't want dial-up. I don't want fiber optic.
No.
I want a T1. I want a dedicated line to every house in America.
I want that new super internet they're talking about.
Oh, really? There's a new one?
Yeah, there is. And they've been developing it for a while, and apparently it's so unbelievably fast.
Oh, wow.
That, I don't know, that you click on something and it happens yesterday.
What?
Yeah, that's how fast it is.
But that seems kind of not helpful.
No, it's not, because you're not in yesterday anymore.
No, like,
so you're kind of pissed, actually.
I need this today.
But I still think it'd be kind of cool. You click on something and you saw it yesterday. So
it's 100% guaranteed frustration-free internet?
Right. Yes, that's how fast and incredible it's going to be. Well, and actually, Facebook is talking about some new metaverse, right? You've heard about that, right?
No.
In fact, they want to transition to being a metaverse company. They want to go away from the social network stuff, and they want to dedicate themselves to the metaverse, which is a new kind of internet.
I've heard that
and they're going to change their name supposedly
that's
next
what I was going to
week.
say. Yeah, change their name?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be interesting. But no, I know they're doing some spooky stuff with AI that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, they want to build an artificial intelligence that learns to understand the world like humans by watching our every move.
No.
Wow.
I'm out.
Tech giant has announced plans to teach AI to understand and interact with the world like we do in first person. It hopes to do this by using video and audio from augmented reality glasses, like its new high-tech Ray-Bans. Have they seen no movies along these lines? Come on. Mark Zuckerberg, have you ever watched a sci-fi movie? Stop it.
Seriously.
Stop it. This is not a good idea.
But yeah, like the bullet points of what this thing's going to do about, like, get the page 3, I think it is. There's like 4 bullet points in the middle of the page. Right there. Yeah, look at this.
Here's what it'll do.
Lord help us.
Remember things so we can ask it, what happened when...
No.
Predict human actions and try to anticipate our needs.
Nope.
Manipulate hands and objects in order to learn new skills. Keep a video diary of everyday life and recall specific moments. And learn and understand social interaction.
Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on. Go back to that. Wait. You'll never lose an argument again. Right? Like, what happened when I told Pat... Fill in the blank. I don't know. That's dangerous territory right there, and I'm not interested.
And they, of course, already own Oculus, the virtual reality headsets. And they're trying to augment that with this new intelligence thing. So, I don't know. Facebook is supposedly changing. Not just their name, but the whole focus of their company.
Yeah, but you saw, just saw the something that you put up there, Rob. Are they going to be earbook now? Because all they're doing is listening to us. I mean, that's a good logo you got there.
Mm-hmm.
That's We are at a scary point because we are, every day, we're becoming more and more dependent of a incompetent government and companies that can help us and make our lives easier. What's the name of that show that I always forget the name of? It's based in Vancouver, about 70 years in the future. Remember the guy?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Why can't I ever remember this? That's where we're headed, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. What is this show called? Was it on Hulu?
I don't know.
Continuum. We are on that trajectory. Every day there's something in the news.
Too.
It's very good.
Every day. Yes. They got the corporation thing right, too. The corporations and the governments merging as one. That is absolutely happening right now. Do you like to snack throughout the day, but you'd rather not pack on the pounds doing it? I have the answer for you. It's Built Bars. Built Bars are actually good for you. They got 18 grams of protein, 180 calories or less, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. So you don't have to feel guilty when you snack on these, and they help quench your hunger pangs during the course of your day. They're just fantastic, and they've got all kinds of great flavors, from coconut to cookies and cream, salted caramel, double chocolate, mint brownie, Rocky Road, all kinds of delicious flavors, and it's really candy bar-like. These are not like your average protein bars. They are fantastic. Built Bars. Go to built.com. Use the promo code PAT15, and you'll save 15% off your first order. Promo code PAT15 for 15% off at built.com.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
We could jam together, though. Your guitar and my tambourine. And
yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Shoot.
I don't know. It's too expensive, I guess. I don't know.
I'll follow.
Which is hard to believe in this day of $3.5 trillion reconciliation bills.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
No, they had to cut something out of the budget.
Fox has been number one for 35 straight weeks now. Remember when Trump was in and CNN kept winning? And everybody was like, wow, they've beaten Fox, and people were pissed off at Fox, and everything's back to normal now on cable news. Fox, number one, 35 straight weeks. They averaged 1.4 million viewers to finish the week October 11th through 17th as the only basic cable network to crack the 1 million viewers plateau.
Oh, wow.
TBS was second with 930,000. Then ESPN came in third, averaging 897,000 viewers.
TBS beat ESPN?
Isn't that something?
Wow.
Yeah.
I know they've got playoff baseball, but honestly, what else do they have? I mean, Conan, right?
Well, ESPN has a politics problem.
Yeah.
And it's turning people off. Because that's a really low number for ESPN. They should be far higher than that. During the primetime hours, Fox averaged 2.3 million viewers compared to 1.2 million for MSNBC. 661,000 for CNN.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. That's total viewers. That's not in the demo. Wow. That's really something.
So how many people... How many people can fit into? Doesn't Michigan have the largest football stadium?
Yeah, like 110,000.
Right. So it's like literally six stadiums.
Yes.
For the University of Michigan.
And that's it.
Watch CNN nationwide.
Crazy. Wow. And ESPN said the 2021 WNBA finals between the Chicago Sky and Phoenix Mercury. Remember how much we talked about that? We were all on the edge of our seats.
Yes.
Who's going to win that one?
Right.
When the Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury get together, you can throw out all the record books.
That series was intense. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Keith.
All those games that it went?
4. It went 4 games.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah, well, it says here on the article.
Oh, I mean, I knew that.
I knew it.
4. Mm-hmm. We thought surely this would be a 7-game series, but no, the Chicago
the Chicago Sky
ended up sweeping them, huh?
Swept them.
Wow.
They got their brooms out and swept them.
I mean, they're women. What's that?
I'm sorry? What'd you say?
I don't know. I'm talking to somebody else now. Okay, so the WNBA, so big party, right?
548,000 viewers throughout 4 games.
And all of them showed up at the parade, right? Let's see this footage. Look at this. Woo!
There they are. Look at that parade, man. Everybody turned out. Everybody. There's more people in the parade than watching it.
By a 50-1 margin.
By far.
And the people that are watching it, I contend, were just in these stores and were like, oh, wait, a bus is coming by slowly. Let's go out and say hi. I mean, there's nobody out there.
The Chicago sky, man. Chicago's so proud of the sky. They just can't hold it in. They got to go out and celebrate. They have to. And they did. There they were. Congratulations, Chicago sky. Welcome. By the way, I'll also be filling in for Glenn today. So you can get me if you switch over for 5 hours, where we'll jam in probably 25 minutes of entertainment into that 5 hours. Just jam-packed.
So 2 hours here, 3 hours doing Glenn's show. Don't you have something else going on today in the building?
Yes, I do. I've got a third show, the news and why it matters.
Wow. So
happening this afternoon as well.
6 hours of Pat today.
Wow. Because you just can't get enough, right? You just can't get enough.
That's what I hear.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Apparently, we have some special agent CNBC reporter that we sent to interview Vladimir Putin. Do you remember the thing where supposedly Putin had gotten some beautiful interpreter to mess up Trump, right?
At their
and
meeting.
She really wasn't that beautiful. Was she? If I remember correctly, she's okay, but I don't know that Trump was stunned by her beauty or anything. But and they said that was a great big story. I didn't even hear about that story except from Russian TV talked about it.
And it was really recently too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that finally came out. Oh my gosh. So the headline is, I looked this up. Get to know the stunning Russian translator Putin brought to Trump meeting, and you're right. What?
I mean, she's okay, but you wouldn't think, whoa, they're trying to pull a fast one there. Look what they did to him.
No.
Come on.
No,
come on.
Close tab.
The guy sat across from Megyn Kelly before. Please.
Oh, boy.
He sits across from Melania all the time. He knows beautiful women. That's not going to dazzle him. Anyway, they're now claiming that we did the same thing to Putin at some forum that they were doing. And the CNBC reporter, Hadley Gamble, positioned herself as a sex object in order to distract Putin during the recent interview. And it's another one of those,
Oh, no, wait.
This is who we send?
Hold on a second. NBC is against a communist? I don't think so. Stop it.
No, but I think the U.S. government was behind this. And we arranged this with CNBC.
Okay.
I suppose here are some of the still shots. And, there she is smiling and looking sideways at him. Tell me that wouldn't melt you right there.
Right. I don't know. Martin's asking, does she go back to that picture? He asked a question, does she have teeth? I couldn't see.
Let's see. Let's go back.
I think they're just
they're just covered by lips. So
Putin, Pooty Poot, did he fall in love, or why has this become a thing?
He called her beautiful twice, and so I guess that was the big distraction. I don't know, but
okay, thank you.
That's right. That's right, Mama.
Nothing.
Ask me your questions.
Nothing like international economic theory.
Yeah, so weird.
Set the mood.
I mean, what a weird world we live in. Really? You think that's going on? We've got nothing better to do but to distract Putin during a forum with some woman that nobody even knows. And if you're going to do that, wouldn't you distract him with the most incredibly beautiful woman that you could possibly find? If that's your goal, I wonder if you would choose someone other than Hadley Gamble. I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
I don't.
Just asking questions.
I don't know. At all.
I don't know. Also, Pathead Natalie sent this to us.
What was this? What is this again?
Do you remember, this is kind of a prediction back in 1987 of the mask wearing. In The Princess Bride, Andre the Giant, you might remember this scene. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
Look, are you just fiddling around with me or what?
I just want you to feel you're doing well. I hate for people to die in bad. You're quick.
A good thing, too.
Were you wearing a mask? Were you burned by acid or something like that?
Oh, no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future.
Oh.
He's right.
He's right.
And there was the prediction. Everyone will be wearing them in the future. And now here we are.
Nice job, Wesley.
Uh-huh.
Here we
are. 34 years later, everybody's wearing them. Although we're not wearing them on the eyes where they would be comfortable. We're wearing them over our mouth and our nose, so they're not comfortable.
Oh, see, I would have worn a mask over my eyes.
That wouldn't bother me.
That'd been kind of
that
cool.
much at all.
A little
Yeah.
mysterious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the nose and mouth thing where I can't breathe, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so a little predictor of the future.
From the greatest movie of all time, right there, Princess Bride.
Hmm.
Now, are you a Princess Bride fan?
Yeah,
not,
I like
not,
it.
Not as much.
I like
it. But it's not a classic.
I mean, I've made my kids watch it. You know, that's
yeah.
So
did they like it?
For them, some.
Did you have them checked? Because that's something wrong with them. If they didn't like it, something wrong.
Yeah.
Radically wrong with them.
I've thought this. I'm glad to get affirmation. Thank you.
Why are you wearing a mask? I love Andre the Giant.
Me too, man.
It's so great.
Like, I did not get into the WWF at all, but I loved him and his
He's
character.
awesome. Yeah. The gentle giant that he was. I love the part of the movie when he sets himself on fire and he's in that wheelbarrow. I am the great powered Robert. There will be no survivor.
Yeah, you turned that into a character when we worked in Houston together.
Yes, I did. Because our Leapy Brown, our mayor at the time of Houston, sounded exactly like Andre the Giant when he spoke. So then he became the Dread Pirate Mayor.
What is old Lee P. Brown up to these days, huh?
I wonder. Is he still around? Still alive? Still kicking?
I don't know. He was a good one, though, right?
Oh,
right?
People loved him. Loved him to death.
I guess he's still around.
Oh, okay, good.
So
good. That's wonderful.
Good, right?
Yeah. Colorado School District investigating after parents say teachers taped masks to students' faces.
Unacceptable.
What part of that is unacceptable?
Well, all of it, quite frankly. The masks,
Look
the
at
taping.
That. They put the
public
duct tape
school.
over their nose.
We are,
my gosh,
disintegrating at a rapid pace. And because this isn't one psychotic teacher, these are multiple teachers in this school. Oh.
Unbelievable. School district in Colorado Springs opened its investigation after a photo of a student at Chinook Trail Middle School with a mask taped to her face circulated on social media over the weekend. Multiple parents confirmed the allegation of students having their masks taped to their faces by staff members. What do you want to bet they kept taking it down below their nose so they could breathe? And the teacher probably said, if you don't keep that on your nose, I'm going to tape it to your nose.
Yeah, this student in particular in this picture, one time. I guess she was warned one time. And then here comes the duct tape. Are you for real? So help me, here comes the lawsuit.
Jeez.
Yeah. And it's happening everywhere, this taping masks to kids' faces.
Well, they also did it to a girl with Down syndrome.
Yeah, right there. Right? And Florida, because they're not supposed to have a mask mandate. Broward County doesn't care, and so they're defying the order. That's number one. And number two, they take this poor girl who...
7 years old.
Yeah.
With Down syndrome, had the mask tied to her head against her will since Brevard schools instituted their illegal mask policy. The parents were unaware this was happening until the child came home one day with the mask on her face.
Yes. So this girl can't speak. The parents say, look...
she's nonverbal.
She's nonverbal.
And has an oversized tongue. Now, can you imagine how awful that is? With the mask over the top of it?
Yeah.
God,
and when the parents realize that, oh my gosh, they're implementing this mask in defiance of DeSantis in this school district. I think I said Broward County. You said it was Brevard or something.
Yeah.
So they're like, she can't wear it. Please don't do this. And what was happening is they would send their daughter to school. She would without a mask. She would come home without a mask, but she wasn't telling them, obviously,
because she's non-communicative.
Right. That what was happening during the day until one day she comes home with this sopping wet mask that was taped to her face. I mean, there's so many ways we are abusing our children right now in these schools. It is unforgivable, quite frankly.
I would have been arrested by the police.
Yeah, you'd been on the news.
Happened to my child.
You'd been on the news.
I'd be on the news.
Yeah,
I'd be on the news. Mm-hmm. So hats off to those parents for not being on the news.
Yeah, and whether
that's
it's
incredible.
These parents in the school,
it's incredible.
Whether it's these workers that are being compelled to get the shot, or it's the Washington State coach. My goodness, what a time for attorneys, huh? I imagine they're going to be very busy for the foreseeable future in this country.
Man, jeez. Talk about lawsuits that would be easy to. You would think that would be a no-brainer, right? You're taping a mask to the face of a Down syndrome 7-year-old. Huh. I wonder if that's winnable.
Common sense is.
Huh. And you're doing it clandestinely without the knowledge of the parents who told you not to.
Yep, they specifically said.
And you did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Poor children.
Wow. And what do you want to bet? She's been tested and she doesn't have it, and they don't care. They're still going to mask up the kids. I don't have it, right? So, and that's the interesting thing, because wherever you go, if you've been tested and you turned up negative, you don't have it. And so you're not giving it to anybody, and yet they can still accuse you of trying to kill them or their grandparents or whatever.
Tortured argument.
By being there without a mask, which is so asinine. Oh, this world. We're just in dire straits. That's all. Just dire straits.
I miss a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago you didn't miss last year, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. I missed 2 years ago.
And 2 years ago you didn't miss 2 years ago. Every year. And I keep warning you, it's going to be worse.
Uh-huh.
And
I missed 5 minutes ago.
I know.
Before we had that story.
Uh-huh.
It never ends, man.
Yeah. Also, Pathead Katie sent us this clip from a TV show from a few years back, showing just how our society's changed a little bit. We used to make fun of masks.
Right. I missed this.
Everybody knew they were ridiculous.
I missed this America right here. Watch this clip. Yeah.
Now let's find some new kids for Anna Cat to be friends with.
Okay.
Maybe her.
Oh, okay. Ugh, no.
Ew.
Next.
Okay.
He looks nice. But I'll sociopaths do. Pass.
Okay.
I don't even have to say why I don't like that kid.
And the girl's in a mask.
And it used to be, remember how we used to look at people in China and Hong Kong that would wear it all the time because of pollution? We'd be like, what is with you people?
Yeah, you'd get on a plane.
You really need that? You need that mask?
You're like, that's interesting, but okay, silly. You do you.
Yeah, you do you.
And now if you're in a classroom like that scene, there's maybe one kid without a mask, and there's the weirdo. They're the outcast.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Yep. Did you see the North Carolina high school banners at a football game? Team ran out and busted through this banner that said, "Sniff, sniff. You smell that? Privilege."
Oh no!
As a shot to the other team that they were playing. They were playing some Catholic school, Charlotte Catholic, I think. And so they're alleging that all of these people are rich, white, privileged people. The parents were quite pissed that this was allowed to happen. But, this is fine. You can make fun of white people. You can discriminate against white people. You can belittle them. You can demonize them. That's all fine. Yeah, as long as they're rich and white, they've got no protection. You can't. You can do just anything you want to them, pretty much. But it's another reminder of how effectively the Marxists have been brainwashing our kids into believing that wealth is bestowed upon just a privileged few, that the people who have wealth don't deserve it, and they're keeping you from getting it. They're taking it all and making sure that you can't have any. And it's okay to hate those people. And this just keeps happening over and over and over again. And then we wonder why our kids are a bunch of little Marxists. They have been so brainwashed into believing all this stuff that they've got no chance at really coming out and believing in capitalism and believing that this country offers everything to people if you just go out and get it.
Well, so I looked it up, and that high school that put up that sign, Butler, they ended up winning that game 28-21. I say that they forfeit that, just give it over to Charlotte Catholic because of the privilege of having won that game by Butler. Maybe they should share the wealth a little bit there, huh?
Right?
Because they're in first place in their conference. Butler is the offending school here that made that sign. I don't appreciate them being at the top of the heap.
I don't either.
We should knock them down. Just made him put them in third place. Just pick a couple random games and knock them down. And even it out.
Yeah, teach them a lesson.
I mean, that's
about privilege.
That's what they're espousing, right?
Yes,
that the other team is so privileged.
Yeah, it is
by their existence. Well, how about on the football field, Butler?
Right. We got to play the campus reform. Video, where campus reform went to a campus. It was Florida, University of Florida, and it was during game day. And they started asking students about diversity and whether or not there should be diversity quotas. And of course, they believe in diversity quotas. Absolutely. And then they ask them another question. And then things change a bit.
Okay.
Check this out.
Talking first about diversity just in general, do you think diversity should be a factor in hiring decisions and in college admissions processes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably they should probably have diversity quotas for college admissions and
nice hat.
a bunch of other things. I think they already have quotas though, but those are definitely a good thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's an absolute necessity.
Yeah, everyone should have an equal part anywhere, really.
As a first-generation college student from a Hispanic household, it's very important.
Should we develop diversity quotas for, the workplace or for college admissions? How they usually work is if a population is 35% Hispanic, then the school in that region, I guess, would also have to be 35% Hispanic in its student population to reflect the demographics of the larger community. Is that something that you would support?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would support that.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I totally support that.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, Sam, I think it definitely should be taken into account.
Absolutely. There should be more diversity in basically every single field.
So what about diversity quotas on sports teams, college sports teams? Do you guys think?
Yeah. No, I think that should be skill-based.
Yeah,
absolutely. What?
Same thing. We want to win no matter
You want to win.
what you are.
Okay.
Probably not.
No matter
I feel
what
like
you
it
are.
should be based off talent. That's something that's a little bit different.
With sports, it's definitely
it's different because it's
more-
not as
more
important.
emphasis placed on ability.
Sports is different than college. Sports
Yeah,
is not the same.
it's
I mean,
not
talent is talent,
as
talent is talent.
important.
I don't think we should. College sports is about getting the best
Unfreaking
players for your
believable.
team. And I don't think we should focus on which race or ethnicity to get.
I think a diversity quota for
can't
any
take
sports team, it doesn't make much sense. It should be based on skill.
Just let the skills shine, and whoever's the best player deserves to be on the team.
Obviously, with sports, it's talent first over anything.
I did some research about the demographics here at UF. We're going to put this into a hypothetical situation. So 50% of students here are white. This is from 2019. 19% are Hispanic, 8% are Asian, and 5% are African American. If we were to apply that quota to the offensive lineup for the Florida Gators football team, this is what the lineup would look like.
White, Latino,
and that's probably
Latino.
not what it looks like at all. Yeah.
You get one black guy on
I
offense.
feel like they're probably just more skilled players.
Yes!
'cause, I guess you could say
I guess you
more
could
skilled
say
people should get into
I'm not
schools, too.
making any sense because
I guess what I said could kind of be applied both.
We'd probably be losing because we recruit based on skill, and if we recruited based on diversity, then we'd probably be worse.
But with admissions into college, that's different because
I think it's
why?
perfectly fine. If they're the best players fit for the job, then they deserve the spot.
I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing that these people are just better at the sports that they play.
But you do think it's a bad thing?
I mean,
if,
it'd definitely be different. When's the last time you
other
saw
people
a
have better
prominent Asian in
grades?
football?
does this kind of change your mind about diversity quotas in other sectors like the workplace, like college admissions? If we're talking about being the best in sports, shouldn't we also be talking about being the best in the workplace, being the best company, being the best college, the best university, regardless of anyone's race?
No. Yeah, I think it is a good way to open your eyes and think. If
do
you're
you?
recruiting athletes based on their skill
You
level,
do.
maybe we should
Good.
admit students based on their scores and their
changed his
academic
mind.
merit more so than diversity.
How about
a little bit, because I didn't think about it being a part.
Yeah, you didn't think about it. That's the problem, doofus.
Because you're dumb.
You didn't think about it.
Argument
Problem is you're dumb.
Man.
My reason for school would be the same for sports, basically.
I think
way.
so. I think I really didn't think about.
You really didn't think about it. That's the problem. You really didn't think about it.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
Sports versus college admissions. So
Skill always comes first. I don't necessarily think quotas are the way to go. I know they're unconstitutional. I know they're wrong. I feel like that's just counterintuitive to feel obligated to admit anybody or do anything.
What?
Yeah.
She was the opposite 2 minutes ago.
You want the best. It doesn't really matter what the person's race is, who they are, whatever. Like, you have skills. You're a good person. That's about it.
Oh.
That is bizarre. So you put no thought into this. You've just been indoctrinated into believing diversity is good no matter what. Until you're challenged on something you really do care about, like the football team. And now, because you can't imagine the football team being a bunch of white guys, that can't happen, right? And win in the SEC. So what we're going to do then is apply that same principle to college admissions and workplace and everywhere else. If you want skill on the football team, why don't you want skill in real life everywhere else? No matter what. Whether they're black or white or Hispanic or whatever color they may be. Well, yeah, now that I think about it. Yeah, now that I'm not just getting indoctrinated by my teachers. You're right. It shouldn't matter. Amazing.
See, I don't know if that's
amazing.
If that's good that just hit with a little bit of common sense there for just a moment, that they changed their mind and came around.
Well, it was so easy.
Right, or that it's so easy and they're not getting just 2 minutes with their professors. They're getting 4 years of this stuff drummed into them.
Right.
I don't, they're so impressionable, man.
They really are.
But I'm
they can
glad
be swayed so easily.
Yes, and I'm just glad that there's a flicker of common sense still burning inside some of them.
And yet I still want to just beat my head against a wall after watching that.
Definitely. I'm going to go with, I think, blue raspberry today. Okay.
Man.
What is so maddening, Pat, is that even if, and I think you can speak to this to some degree, even if you spend 18 years raising your children to understand principles of freedom and liberty, then you start writing these big checks to these universities and you say, hey, I'm going to scrimp and save and break my back to pay you to unwind everything.
To undo everything I taught them their whole lives. And it does happen. I mean, if you just willy-nilly let them go and be taught by that and you don't talk to them about all that stuff, it will be undone. It absolutely will. Man. Speaking of those big checks that you write to universities, did you see Harvard's endowment just went up another 33% this year? They're up to $52 billion with their endowment.
Just sitting on it, huh?
$52 billion. Yeah, they're just sitting on it.
At some point, you have enough money?
I mean, again, when it was $25 billion, they could pay for all of their students to go to Harvard for free for 25 years. All 25,000 kids for 25 years, free. Now it's 50. Now it's 50 years. That's how much their endowment is. It's incredible, isn't it?
Wow. Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.